All right, today we're going to completely change how you use AI. We're going to take Google Gemini from being just a generic tool and turn it into a personal assistant that actually gets you. I mean, think about it, right? Have you ever asked your AI for help and it just spits back this wall of text? Yeah, it's technically correct, but it's totally unhelpful. Or you get an answer that's so generic, it feels like it could have been written for anybody. It's super frustrating, and honestly, it's what's holding these amazing tools back. Well, today, we are going to fix that right here, right now. Together, we're going to walk through the exact steps to teach Gemini your preferences, your style, and what you really need so that every single answer you get is clearer, faster, and way more relevant. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why this is so important. Then we'll lay the foundation, define your style, make sure it all sticks, and finally, we'll test and refine everything. It's a simple process, but trust me, the payoff is huge. Okay, so first things first, why even bother with all this? Well, the whole point is to transform Gemini from a one-size-fits-all tool into your personal assistant, one that starts to anticipate your needs and talks to you in a way that just clicks. This, right here, this is really the core of it. The second Gemini understands your expertise level, what you're trying to achieve, and even simple things like you preferring bullet points over long paragraphs, its usefulness just skyrockets. You're not just getting answers anymore, you're getting answers crafted just for you. All right, let's get our hands dirty. Section 2 is all about laying the foundation. These are the absolute first steps you need to take to build a smarter assistant. And you know what? It's super simple to start. You just open Gemini, and this is the important part, you start a brand new chat. You want a totally clean slate, No baggage from old conversations. And from there, we're going to make a very specific introduction. Okay, now look at this sentence on the screen. This is basically your magic key. When you type this, you're not just asking a question, you are flipping a switch. You're telling Gemini, hey, go into learning mode. I want you to start gathering my preferences and actively help me set this up right. So what do you tell it? Well, you've got to be explicit. Tell it your expertise level, like, hey, I'm a total beginner with AI. Let it know if you want short, punchy answers or really detailed explanations. Tell it how you learn best. And what's your main goal here? Planning, writing, brainstorming? Giving it this context right up front is the foundation for every good response you're going to get from now on. All right, with that foundation in place, now we get to the really fun part, defining your AI style. This isn't just about the information, it's about the personality. We're teaching Gemini not just what to say, but how to say it. And you can get super specific here. You can literally tell it, respond in a friendly and encouraging tone, or always use bullet points, not long paragraphs. How about this one? Start every answer with a short summary. You can even tell it to cut out the jargon or to ask you for more info if your request is a little vague. And the best part? These aren't suggestions, they're rules it's going to follow. But hey, here's a real pro tip for you. Showing is almost always more powerful than telling. So instead of just describing your style, why not give Gemini some concrete examples? I mean, those upload tools are there for a reason, and they are probably the fastest way to get it on the exact same page as you. Just think about the possibilities here. You can upload an email you've written so Gemini can learn to match your tone perfectly. You can give it work documents so it understands your projects. You can even just snap a photo of a confusing bill or a recipe and ask for help in real time. This gives Gemini real, solid data to learn from. Okay, so you've put in all this great work. You want to make sure it actually sticks, right? That brings us to our next section, ensuring consistency. This is all about making sure that your awesome, newly personalized assistant shows up for you every single time. So here's the secret weapon. You can create a default behavior prompt. Think of this as your go-to starter for any important conversation. You just save this little block of text in a Notes app, and when you start a new chat, you copy and paste it right in. Boom. Gemini is instantly reminded of your core preferences, and you get high-quality results every single time. And hey, one quick but really important technical step. You're going to want to dive into your settings and look for data and privacy. Why does this matter? Well, these settings directly control how well Gemini can save your history and use that info to learn your patterns over the long haul. It's a small check that makes a huge difference. All right, the setup is done. Now it's time for the payoff. Let's move into our final section, test, refine, and repeat. This is where we see all our hard work in action and learn how to make our assistant even smarter over time. And just look at this. This slide says it all. On the left, you've got the before, that typical dense block of AI text. But on the right, That's the after. You get exactly what you asked for, a friendly summary followed by clear, concise bullet points. The change isn't just cosmetic, it's a fundamental improvement in usefulness. Now, it's really important to remember that this isn't a one-and-done setup. Think of personalization as a continuous conversation you're having with your AI. The more you use it, the more you'll discover new ways to make it even better.
For instance, after a while you might realize, you know what, I always want it to give me examples for complex topics. Or maybe, let's try to keep most answers under 6 bullet points. You can even teach it to gently remind you of your own preferences. The more you use it and refine it, the smarter it gets.
So let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways. 1. Gemini is just way more useful when it knows you. 2. Defining your preferences for tone and style is the fastest way to better answers. 3. Use those upload tools to help it learn your patterns fast. 4. That default starter prompt is your secret weapon for consistency. And finally, 5. Remember that this is an ongoing process of refinement.
And of course, a huge shout out to the source for this explainer, the excellent guide from AI for Daily Living, which laid out all of these fantastic steps. And that brings us to the end. So I'll leave you with this question to get you started. What is the very first thing you're going to teach your Gemini? Thanks for tuning in.